first chapter deals with contract law principles that are special in the insurance law context. Interpretation would be probably the leading example. The second chapter takes into account the fact that liability insurance always involves some underlying claim, and so these are the rules of the road that liability insurance law sets for how claims are defended and settled, essentially. The third chapter, we call that the general principles of the risks insured, and so that tries to address general topics that are across all kinds of liability insurance. What's an exclusion? What's a condition? What's an insuring clause? How do we deal with deductibles and limits? What happens when there's more than one insurance policy on the hook? Those sorts of general principles.
So the restatement of the law of liability insurance has garnered a lot of attention. And in retrospect, we shouldn't be surprised about this fact. In part, it's because insurance law is important. It is, if not the most common kind, one of the most common kinds of insurance contracts, so it affects a lot of people. So you would expect the people who are affected to be interested. But it's especially a source of controversy and interest because there are identifiable groups on both sides. There are the insurance industry, which is the group that drafts most of these contracts. They're standard form contracts that come from the insurance industry. Obviously, it has a legitimate and serious interest in how our project comes out, especially to the extent it's influential with judges. They have their own perspective, but they very much care about the law of liability insurance, how it's shaped, what the trends are, how it's applied in various cases. And so to the extent the American Law Institute is announcing or adopting rules that could resolve uncertainty in the law or encourage some jurisdictions which haven't yet reached questions to adopt particular positions in ways that might not be favorable to the insurance industry, they are especially interested. And I would say the same thing is true for policyholders. You know, there are large commercial policyholders, large companies, whose clients buy insurance all of the time, who find themselves in litigation constantly with their insurance companies, and they have the same concern. And so both sides, I think, rightly realize that this project is important for how they do business. And as the project has gone along, this has dawned on various members of both sides of this to different degrees, but now everyone is fully engaged. And so the attention we're getting is significant and will increase, I think, as we get closer to the annual meeting